So America's new Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has visited Israel, and what he says and the friendship that he shows to Israel is just so remarkable, moving. And he basically said, in front of a press conference with Netanyahu, he said if there are more countries like Israel in the Middle East, the world will be a much safer and better place. Have a watch.
And so I close where I began by reiterating our strong support for our allies, very close allies and partners here in Israel, to the people of this great country, for whom we have tremendous love and respect for everything you're facing, have faced, and continue to face. It is an extraordinary story of bravery. A nation founded in the ashes and in the aftermath of a horrifying crime against humanity, stood from its very inception, from the very day of its birth, against threats from every angle and every corner, and has served as an example to the world of a pluralistic society, a free enterprise democracy, and one that if there were more Israels in the Middle East, more countries like that, the world would be a safer and a better place. And this is what we hope for the region and for our planet. A nation that's always sought peace, but will not allow itself to be intimidated or destroyed by its enemies. And on that front, you can always count on us, as long as I'm in this position and President Trump is in the White House. So thank you.
Thank you.
And then there's another clip here of his trip to Israel. And look what he even said in the video. The title of the video is "Israel Serves as an Example for the World." This is Marco Rubio's trip to Israel summarized. Have a watch.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It is an honor to be here for the first time as the Secretary of State of the United States. There's been no stronger ally for Israel in the White House than President Trump. To the people of this great country, for whom we have tremendous love and respect, a nation stood from its very inception, from the very day of its birth, against threats from every angle and every corner, and has served as an example to the world. If there were more Israels in the Middle East, more countries like that, the world would be a safer and a better place. And this is what we hope for the region.
This, by the way, is that we're seeing over here is Yad Vashem, which is the Holocaust memorial in Israel.
This is what we hope for the region and for our planet.
Really amazing, where he basically says that far from those in other countries and maybe previous administrations that seek to criticize Israel, to bash Israel, to say Israel's gone over the top, as President Biden put it, here we have an American administration, an American Secretary of State that looks to Israel not as a country to criticize and to try to have, hard conversations with, but rather not just to praise, but to say we actually have what to learn from you. You are a shining light in a region of darkness. That is not just a poignant change and shift from the talk of previous politicians and administrations, but more than that, it's actually the sane approach. If people were sane, they would look at Israel and the way that Israel has shown so much bravery and self-sacrifice and heroism in the face of genocidal murderers of Hamas and Hezbollah and all the other evil actors out there, Iran, and the ingenuity, the self-sacrifice for their fellow Israelis, fellow Jews, the incredible stories of heroism that we learned in the aftermath of October 7th, the incredible ingenuity of the Pedro attack where they go after Hezbollah terrorists and avoid a massive war which would have cost so many lives on both sides. Israel, this tiny nation that rose up from the ashes of the worst genocide, the worst atrocity in human history, the Holocaust, and has created this incredible nation despite still facing so much hatred, so much animosity from the region in which she's in. Israel, in some ways, is the epitome of Jewish history as a whole. Because the Jewish history were few in number throughout their history. Israel, too, is small in size. They were scattered all over the world throughout most of their history. Israel is made up of Jews, people who came from all corners of the world and came back to this land. Jews were intensely persecuted throughout their history. Israel today faces more resolutions in the United Nations General Assembly than all other nations' resolutions condemning them combined. She's in a region where there's so much hostility. And so too in the West as well. She doesn't find allies there, she finds critics. And yet despite all that, as Marco Rubio said, Israel's not only survived as the Jewish people have survived, but she has thrived, transformed so much of the world's technological innovations, humanitarian support. It's provided economic development in a region that was so lacking it. But most importantly, it's the moral light that Israel shines that is so bright. And he mentions, it's a pluralistic society, free enterprise, all those things, all very nice. But now it's time for us to come into our role fully, which is also to be that spiritual voice to the world. The voice of God and God's morality to the entire world. The mission that we were charged with 3,300 years ago at Mount Sinai. That's where we have to go to as a next step. And the world is so desperately waiting. This is what Zionism 2.0 can look like. As we were reading in synagogue just last week, the Torah portion of Yitro, where we read the Ten Commandments, it said that God says to the Jewish people, you are going to be a nation of priests and a holy nation. Mamleches Kohanim v'goy kadosh. That is what we are truly called upon to be. And that is Israel's next step in her remarkable destiny.
Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.